All right. So for some reason the video cut when I switched to this view, but so we left off. I got this answer right. So when I worked it the first time, I wasn't able to get there, but we can actually get a sense of what the answer should be before, we can kind of check this. Let me show you how I check this. So if I go back to the original, all right, the original is here. This guy, all right. So then what I'm going to do, I have a TI-83 Plus calculator here. So in the upper left-hand corner, I'm going to click on Y equals, and I'm going to type in the expression. So I'm going to say parentheses 1 over x minus parentheses 1 over, then the denominator is e to the x. Now this takes practice to be able to type this in properly. You have to know how to use the parentheses here. That closes off the denominator, and this should close off the second term. Okay. So now, if we try to plug in 0 directly, like if we try to evaluate the limit, if we just plug in 0 directly, we're going to get like dividing by 0 error, right? So, but the limit is, what we're concerned is as we get closer and closer to 0. So if we choose numbers that get closer and closer to 0, it'll give us a sense, right? So as we choose numbers that get closer and closer to 0, either from the left or the right, they should be approaching a half, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to call in the function that I just put in. If you look at on the calculator to the right where it says clear, the clear button, to the left of that is a button that says variables. So VARS. I think it stands for variables. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go to the right to go to Y variables. I'm going to click on number 1 for function, and I'm going to click on number 1 again to call the function I just typed in, right? So like say we're approaching 0 coming from the left. So I'm going to start at like negative 0.1. That's the number slightly to the left of 0, right? We're going to get an answer. Then I'm going to choose I'm going to call that function again, and now I'm going to choose a number that's even closer to 0. Then I'm going to do it again and get another number that's even closer to 0. So notice as we get closer and closer to 0, our result gets closer and closer to 0.5. That's coming from the left. Even if we did the same thing coming from the right. Oops, quit. So like if we get rid of the negative and say we start at 0.1, right? We're going to get an answer. Then let's say we do 0.01, getting closer and closer to 0 coming from the right. Notice our answer is getting closer and closer to 0.5, right? So that's when I realized like, okay, well, I knew that the answer should have been a half. So I went back and then it dawned on me, I was like, okay, well, let me try the technique of applying the L'Hopital's rule twice. So the trick for for number 6 was applying L'Hopital's rule twice, okay? I'm going to try to suppress my calculator without the video cutting out on me. Let's see. Oh, but then it didn't go back to displaying properly. Yeah, it's not supposed to show all that. Okay. So, okay, for the next 2 videos, I'm going to change my format a little bit.